Just look at his Project 2025 agenda. And Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
What's going on, guys? So Kamala Harris was just out here in Atlanta, Georgia, okay? My stomping ground. And she's had this rally that was kind of ghetto. I can't even cap it. It was kind of ghetto, okay? She had Quavo and Megan Thee Stallion out there, right? And she also was talking in kind of this weird type of dialect that's not normally how she talks. She kind of like awakened her inner black woman that she's pretending to be. I'm gonna show y'all a couple clips from that prior to me going ahead and smoking her on some of the lies that she told the audience. Take a look.
If y'all don't know me, I go by the name of Quavo. Born and raised in the north side of Atlanta, home of the Migos.
The funny thing here is I've seen people trying to say that Kamala Harris managed to draw in all of these people to this rally when it's painfully obvious that the only reason a lot of people attended is mainly so they could see Megan Thee Stallion, who happens to be the most popular artist there. You know, the one who was shaking her ass, that one.
But many people are questioning, well, were they here to see Kamala, or were they here because Quavo, Meg Thee Stallion were here, and it was essentially a giant concert? And I'm gonna be honest, guys, people started leaving about 15 minutes after she started speaking, which was kind of notable to me because, you know, this is her first presidential rally in Georgia. And so I thought people would have wanted to listen to her. And then also, she really only spoke for about 30 minutes, I would say. So it was a very, very short speech, but people couldn't make it through it. I kept seeing streams of people continuously leave, and I was like, well, you know, maybe it's the one-off person. But then I started seeing people leave from every single level, and I was like, okay, I mean, maybe there is a little bit of truth to people having come here to see the performances. I don't know how many were here just for Kamala.
I want to take a moment to go ahead and cook Kamala Harris, one of my favorite pastimes to do on this channel, at least until the election's over, because she got right up here in front of all of America and, as you can see on the screen, a bunch of black folks, and lied her ass off. And I want to go ahead and point out exactly why. Let's go ahead and react to what she had to say, and I'm going to be interrupting along the way, giving my own fact checks here with evidence. Let's get into it.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it. Our administration worked on the most significant border security bill in decades. Some of the most conservative Republicans in Washington, D.C. supported the bill. Even the Border Patrol endorsed it.
So here's the thing. Apparently, the Border Patrol, this guy, his name's Brandon Judd, apparently he did support this border bill for a reason. Now, for a reason, before anybody chops the footage from this video, because he felt like the Biden administration was not going to do anything else, and he just wanted something as opposed to nothing. Take a look.
What this would do is it would cap it to where we couldn't take anything more than 5,000.
First of all, the 5,000 is an average 7-day. Up to 8,500 would have to come across the border, which is more than what we're seeing right now per day in a slow month.
So a cap is better than absolutely nothing.
I'm just
Again,
wondering
I'm looking at the
how you
status
will
quo.
enforce the cap, because if you could shut down the border for any period now, that would have been part of the conversation. And just so you know, inside those conversations, because people are beginning to talk as they come out of those chambers now, just so you know, that was an absolute no-go for Democrats. So what does it do for a president like a Trump or a Republican to get into office? I mean,
it doesn't tie their hands at all.
Perhaps if that were the case, you would get these numbers to be even lower. So
Harris, it doesn't take away any executive authority. So if President Trump...
Well, if that's the case, why can't we just use that now? Why can't we use the laws that are on the books now?
But he won't, so why not tie his hands with law? That's what laws do.
Why do you think he'd follow the laws coming that you want to see changed if he won't even follow the laws that are on the books right now?
So we need those border security measures to counteract a president like Joe Biden.
Does this look like a guy who willingly endorsed a bill because they supported it, or a guy who had his arm twisted so freaking far behind his back he felt like it was gonna snap and is begging for mercy? He's saying, please, 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 I'll take anything. And Kamala Harris is trying to call this a serious endorsement of this whack behind border bill. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to let her continue for a bit before I proceed.
It was all set to pass. But at the last minute, Trump directed his allies in the Senate to vote it down. Right. He tanked the bipartisan deal because he thought it would help him win an election. Which goes to show Donald Trump does not care about border security. He only cares about himself.
So they're starting to hooting and holler. Well, here are the facts, okay? So Donald Trump did not sink any border bill. Like, let's not forget that the border was totally secure during Trump's administration. And then the likes of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and many others claimed that it was secure after they took office, even though they removed his previous executive orders that secured the border.
All of it was preventable. This is all a direct result of Joe Biden's failures, his dereliction of duty, his unwillingness to enforce the law and uphold his oath to our Constitution. And by the way, this is the administration that inherited what was the most secure border in U.S. history. But Joe has worked to undo every single Trump-era policy that worked. And on day one, by the way, it was Biden. He signed the executive orders that revoked Trump's efforts to exclude illegal immigrants from the sentence. He strengthened DACA. He canceled Trump's interior enforcement rule. He halted border wall construction. He ended the Remain in Mexico policy. And he let Title 42 expire, among other things. It's time for Joe now to simply, he did all that with the stroke of a pen. Well, one more stroke of the pen, he can reinstate the Trump policies that secured our border in the first place. This is now a clear matter of national security. Stop saying Congress needs to do this. You're the one that undid it. You're the one that can fix it yourself. But he doesn't want to do it.
A few moments later.
Testimony that the border is secure.
The president have worked very hard to implement a strategy when it comes to the border that is humane, safe, and has orderly enforcement.
Things are going at the border, sir.
Much better than you all expected.
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
In addition to that, they also were trying to pass a border bill that would have allowed up to 5,000 illegal immigrants per day, which equates to nearly 2 million illegal aliens per year.
There's been a lot of talk about your role in the immigration talks ongoing on Capitol Hill. Can you outline those conversations you've had with people? And is it true that you've told people that you don't want to see Democrats, particularly President Biden, get a win on this?
No, I didn't say that. I did say that you have to, if you're not going to get a great border bill and immigration bill, don't do a bill. If it's not going to be good, if it's not going to solve the border problem, don't do the bill. And that was very important to me. And a lot of people do call me and they respect me and they say, what do you think? if the bill's not going to be a great bill and really solve the problem, I wouldn't do it at all. Not for political reasons, just for U.S. reasons.
Wouldn't there be some benefit for Republicans? Wouldn't there be some benefit for Republicans in looking like they supported a bipartisan bill?
Yeah, you could view it either way, frankly. I just want to see a great bill. This isn't Republican or Democrat. That's a terrible bill. 5,000 people a day, that's a lot. That's like record-setting stuff. No. I want to see a great bill. If we get a great bill, we should do it. If we don't get a great bill, but I don't think you're going to get a great bill. And if you're starting at 5,000 people a day, it's insane. It's insane.
Kamala Harris sat up there and lied directly to all you guys' faces, and you should be mad about it. Okay, let's move on to her next lie, and trust me, there are many of them.
One that would raise prices on middle-class families. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda.
His Project 2025 agenda. Donald Trump doesn't have a Project 2025 agenda. He has a Agenda 47 that is literally on his website, donaldjtrump.com/agenda 47. Project 2025 is literally not affiliated with Donald Trump at all. He and the leader of Project 2025 have said this directly.
And you know, the other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist. I'm not. I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist at all. Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have. They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right, and they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation.
Your thoughts on Project 2025 and whether or not Biden can use this effectively against you?
I don't think he'll be able to. Look, first of all, I have no idea what it is. It's a group of extremely conservative people got together and wrote up a wish list of things, many of which I disagree with entirely. They're too severe, like on abortion, as an example. They have a strong view of abortion. Well, from what I've heard, it's not too far, way too far. They've gone really too far.
Get cooked, Kamala. There's more to come. Let's keep going.
And Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. How many times literally the Democrats run on the Republicans wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare every election? It never happens. As a matter of fact, usually it's the Democrats who are responsible for making changes to Social Security that makes it more difficult to get. As a matter of fact, Democrats always change entitlements and make them more difficult to get. And then they try to claim that they never made any cuts to it because technically they didn't really cut it. They just changed it. The Republicans never even touch anything because they're too afraid of touching anything, including Social Security and Medicare. And Trump not only never cut Social Security and Medicare when he was in office, he also has promised not to do it again.
It's all going to be made right here. I will not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I will not raise the retirement age. One day, I won't even raise it by 1 day. And you know, she's talking about lifting the retirement age. She's going to have to, because they're putting a lot of the illegal aliens that are coming into our country. They're going into Social Security and Medicare. They're going into a hospital. We're not going to raise it 1 penny or 1 day. I kept that promise, remember, for 4 years. For 4 years, they said, oh, he's going to raise Social Security. No, for 4 years, I didn't, and I won't do it. I'm the one that won't do it.
Flashback. Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
Have you been on the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
Yeah.
Time and time again, talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
You never said that.
No.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Look, here's the deal.
You're an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make mistakes.
I am telling the truth.
And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Joe, let me repeat it again. I want you just to be straight with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate time and time again talking about the need to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans programs. Is that true or is that not true?
No, it's not true.
That is not true?
That is not true.
I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Everything was on the table. I did not support any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans benefits.
Whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other things related.
Joe, then
but we did not cut it.
I know, because people like me helped stop that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris is a proven liar. Donald Trump's literally going to this same venue this Saturday. So I'm actually thinking about the possibility of going because, again, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So I just might attend. And what I'm hoping that Teflon Don does at this Trump rally, both him and JD Vance are going to be in ATL, is demonstrate all of these lies that Kamala Harris told in plain English, exposing her like this video did, because I'm sick and tired of Democrats, and you can see all these black folks who's in the audience, you know, they're just eating all of this up, clearly misinformed and taking in Kamala Harris's lies without any type of fact checking, without really even thinking about it. And it's sad that the Democrats can only win based off of lies. Like, it's crazy to me that the strategy for the Democrats is, look, we're just gonna lie our ass off, and if we win, then great. We're just gonna do whatever the heck it takes. And you got the conservatives out here telling the truth about everything, and it's like they literally twist around what somebody said, it twists around what JD Vance said, it twists around what Trump said, making up lies about the border bill and Trump not want to do the border bill because he didn't want Joe Biden to say he did something right during his presidency. That makes absolutely zero sense, because if Joe Biden wouldn't have gotten rid of Trump's executive orders, then there would be nothing to fix to begin with. Didn't the Democrats like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden say the border was secure previously? What the hell happened to that?
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border.
That was a lie.
Stop letting the Democrats lie to your face. Don't let them get away with it. Vote Trump this November. And even if you don't like Trump, maybe sit this one out if you think that Kamala Harris is lied. Once you realize Kamala's lied to you, because she did. She lied to everybody in this rally numerous times. I proved it to you in this video. She doesn't deserve anybody's vote. Teflon Don is actually telling the truth about, look up every single thing Trump says, you will find the truth. Everything that Kamala Harris says is just a bold-faced lie, and it's about time that she get exposed. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
People who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Is that a position that you agree with?
Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE, and we need to probably think about starting from scratch.